What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the video. So as we get to the end of 2020 here, one of the things I like to do from time to time is kind of update my setup here a little bit. So I'm down here in my basement. It's an unfinished basement, and right now I just got blankets hanging all over. We're going to jump to a GoPro angle soon where you're going to see all that. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do, how we're going to set up this studio and stuff. But just wanted to get a little audio sample here to see what it sounds like before we get started. One of the cool things is I went to this website, Vocal Booth To Go, and what they have is soundproof blankets. And since this is an unfinished basement, I figured, you know what, I'm going to use these soundproof blankets. I'm going to essentially make a room out of the blankets, and then we're going to see how that works out. So I'm going to use this as a sample before. Right now I've just got some old curtains and blankets and a whole bunch of random stuff, painter's blankets hanging up, which you'll see in the GoPro video coming up. But I thought I could really use a better setup and something that kind of kills the sound a little more because it does get echoey down here. And we might even get into updating my microphones and stuff like that, maybe going with a boom mic up here or something. But for now, this is the sample before we start changing around the studio and I take all this stuff down. And yeah, we'll kind of see where it ends up, and hopefully it's worth the money we spent on these Vocal Booth To Go blankets. And I'll show you those when we get to them. They seem pretty cool and pretty high quality, so we'll talk about those when we get to it. But for now, that's it, and let's get into updating our studio here. All right, guys, so down in my basement here, this is where I've got my little studio set up. Here's my backdrop. And then, like I said, I've got blankets and stuff hanging over here. Got a little hallway getting down to my shop side over there. And then if we just take a peek in, here's where my little studio setup is. Got my backdrop right over here. And then old curtains, old blanket, and old painter's blanket over here. So what we're gonna do is take all that down and we're gonna put up some of these guys right here. Vocal Booth To Go sound blankets. And I'm really curious to see how well these are gonna do, because down here in my unfinished basement, it's all concrete walls, no ceiling. So there's a lot of echoing that happens. And these blankets help. I mean, if you don't have anything else, this has worked good for me for most of 2020 here, but it was time to invest a little bit, and hopefully this is gonna make a difference. So first thing we need to do is get all this stuff down. And my plan is to create this room in here and have it be about 12 feet long this way by about 10 feet wide this way. And that should work out pretty good. Give me enough space to get a different table in here. Over here, maybe put this one on the side, kind of rearrange a little bit. And hopefully that's gonna do the trick for me. So I do need to keep, like I said, a little hallway on this side, just so I can get back to my shop area, which is over here. If you've ever seen some of my earlier videos, I did make some videos over here. So a little shop area there. But first step, we're gonna go ahead and take all this down, and then we're gonna go ahead and start putting up these blankets. I'm gonna show you how I install them. I'm gonna show you the blankets, the quality of them, and all that kind of stuff. So let's get into tearing this guy down. So quick tip, if you're setting up in the basement like me and you don't have a ceiling, that actually makes it super easy to put stuff up. I've been using like clamps. I got, you know, your regular clamps. I got little squeezy clamps here. Even picked up some smaller ones. A whole, I don't know, it was like 20 of them or something at Home Depot for $9 or something. So I'm gonna be using some of those maybe. And then also thumbtacks. I can just put it right into the ceiling, and that's how I got these blankets up here. So lots of options on how to kind of DIY it for yourself and, you know, kind of make whatever you got work. And that's what I've done down here. So, you know, you just kind of make it work for a little while. You invest a little bit in your channel when you can, and yeah, that's how it works. So, all right, let's get back to it here. So real quick, another little tip for your home studio is if you've got hardwood floors, or like I do, a concrete floor, you can either throw blankets on the floor, or if you've got extra carpets, I've got extra carpets down here, I just threw on the floor just to help kind of kill some of that sound. So something you can keep in mind for that. A little more light, that might work, huh? It's one of the nice things about having multicolored big lights like this. You can crank them up and make it a little brighter. So one of the other things that I'm thinking is, now that I'm kind of making my whole setup down here, is I really need a shelf to put my gear on, because we have an office upstairs, but my wife's in there, you know, with all the stuff that's been going on in the world. She's been working from home, so she's got that area kind of wrapped up with all her stuff. So I'm moving everything down here, and I'm gonna clear off this shelf here, kind of make some room, and then include that shelf in the room instead of having all my other stuff on it. You know what I mean? So we're gonna take care of that too, and kind of make the best use of the space that we can. So that's about it for now. I'm gonna just time lapse the rest of it here, because you know, I'm sure you guys don't want to watch me clean up my shelf and all that. So we're gonna do that, and then when we get into cracking open the blankets there and stuff, we'll get back here and check it out. All right, so I got the shelf kind of cleaned up. It's gonna be good enough. I'm gonna pull it out here so I can kind of build this blanket room around it, and I'm gonna include that shelf. So I got a place to put my gear, because got a lot of gear and I need someplace to put it. So let's go on over, we're gonna bust out the blankets and I'm gonna tell you, a little bit about them, show them to you, and I'm gonna just kind of describe how I'm planning on putting these up, and we'll see how it works out. So let's check that out. So like I mentioned, these are the Vocal Booth to Go blankets. I'll put a link in the description, not sponsored, but I'm really curious to see how they work here. So we'll just get in here. What I ended up getting was 6 blankets. They are, what are they, 8 feet by 6.5 feet, I think. And take a look at them here. They're heavy, they're good quality blankets. Oh, almost need 2 hands to lift them up by themselves. But what else is cool is that, if I can get to the end here, you can get them with or without these little grommets. I decided to go with the grommets because it's gonna give me an easier way to hang these guys from the ceiling, and I think it would just be easier to use them if you had the grommets. Otherwise you gotta put holes in it, clamp it, clip it, something like that. So I got 2 different kind. I got one that is black on one side and then white on the inside, and then I got 3 that were just solid black. I couldn't decide which ones I wanted, so figure I'll get 3 of one and 3 of another. So my plan to hang these guys is I'm gonna be hanging them from the ceiling up here. And what I was thinking was if I take some 2x4s, nail them up to the ceiling coming down here, then I can put on some either screws or hooks and I can hang it up by those grommets. So that's kind of my plan. We're gonna try that out and see how it works and kind of go from there. So when I come over here, I know I wanted to leave a little hallway space over here so I can walk down to my shop. So in order to determine where I want to put that beam on the top where I'm going to hang the blankets from, I'm kind of just going to go off the backdrop here. So I mean, the blanket itself is 10 feet wide, but in order to have a little path over there, the bar I have, I don't know, it goes up to 15 feet maybe. And right now I have it set so it's actually a little less than 10 feet. So if you look up on the edges, it does get a little bunched up on the side there. So I kind of got to spread that out a little bit, but I might just actually do away with the stand over here too and just mount it, up along the ceiling on the beam here and suspend that bar so that way I don't have that stand in the way. On the inside here, I don't care so much about the stand, but on the outside it's kind of in the way. Been stepping over it for a while, so I don't know. That's what I'm going to start to do. Maybe I'll have to take this guy down and so I can put up my board over here. And then I should be able to grab a beam on that side, bring the blankets across and down here, and then we'll kind of see how that works out. So yeah, let's get to it. So here are the blankets. Like I said, they're pretty heavy and they're pretty thick. So to hang them, you're gonna need something pretty strong, but they're nice. They're kind of like movers blankets, only better. They are pretty thick. So we'll see how they do with the sound proofing here. So my thought is originally over here, I'm gonna have the black on the inside on the studio side, put white in my little hallway here, and then white on my shop side. So that way there's a little more light there. And in the studio, I wanna be able to direct the light wherever I want it to go between my softbox and the LEDs I got in the background. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. And like I said, they're about 6.5 feet by 8 feet. We're gonna get going and hang this guy up. And real quick, I don't know if you can see here, but there's the thickness of the foam. I mean, it's pretty spongy and should suck up that sound pretty good. So the holes are about 10.5 inches apart, which is why I'm gonna throw another board on the ceiling here, and you couldn't fit on the rafters here, so that's why I'm putting the board up. So what I'm gonna do is drill a little pilot hole on the ends here so I don't split the wood as I screw it in, just to get it to hold it up there for me, so should be all right. All right, so the plan is we're gonna use some of these hooks right here, screw them into the side so that way the top of the blanket hangs up a little bit, and then the rest around this way maybe doesn't matter. We'll see. I will All right, so it's looking pretty good. Got 3 blankets up. We're getting there. Gonna come around, do this side over here, and kind of come down the wall here, and then figure out how we want to hang up the backdrop here. Kind of tweak that a little bit, and then we got to reorganize a little bit. Got a new table I'm going to bring down in here, and already I can hear a little bit of a difference. So let's keep going and see what happens here. It's looking good so far. I'm happy with them. Happy with it. So what's going on, guys? So we got our room set up here, got all the acoustic blankets around, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear a difference in this setup with this microphone, but I'm gonna tell you what, these blankets made a huge difference. As soon as I started hanging these two up on this side, you could hear the difference, and it really just muffles the sound in here a lot, which is exactly what I wanted to do so that I don't have to deal with extra echo and stuff. And I do still have my blankets up here on the ceiling, so, you know, we'll run some tests, see how it works out. Maybe I'll just leave them for now, or, you know, maybe I can do something else to kind of treat the ceiling a little bit. But this is what we got so far. Got 6 acoustic blankets, you know, 2 along this side, another 2 wrapping around over here, and all the way down to there. And then behind my background, I have another one, and I was able to put that back there to block the sound from behind. Got the backdrop, had to iron it a little bit, gets a little wrinkly. And in the corner there, I just had a little bit of a gap where I decided to just throw up another blanket over there. It's a pink one, but for now, I think it's gonna be fine. So this is the setup. I'm gonna have my computer over here, got the monitor, got my external hard drive, my Drobo here. Gonna have all my other stuff here. Gonna put the camera back here. I'm gonna run some tests and kind of see what angle looks the best. Do I wanna go 2470, kind of zoom in a little bit around 50? That's usually what I've been doing. Or what I'd like to do is have the camera a lot closer, like over here, and be able to go wide and have the camera close to me. But I don't know if that's gonna work. Sometimes, you know, it just doesn't look good with the background stuff. I'd rather blur that background just a little bit than have the camera right up here on top of me. So next is just run through some tests, kind of see what looks good, how it works out. Maybe make adjustments, move the desk forward and back a little bit if I need to. And otherwise, that's it. We're gonna try and get it all wrapped up so that tomorrow we can film a quick tip Tuesday. So overall, I think these blankets are great. It sounded good so far. I'm really curious to see how it sounds once I record on the Yeti and get this whole little setup going, see how that sounds. But we'll see if we even notice the difference here with the GoPro and this lav mic. All right, so one of the problems that I was running into is that this big softbox right here throws so much light on me that it kind of washes out the background, because I'm only, I don't know, the desk is maybe 4 feet from the background. So I went ahead and ordered some grids to see if that's gonna help. I also used to flag the top of it here, just across the top, so that way the light didn't spill back so much. So I'm gonna try out these grids, see how that works. I mean, it was like, what, 25 bucks maybe? So I'm gonna throw these on here and hopefully that'll get the light directed towards me while I'm sitting here, but not wash out the background. So we're gonna try and throw them on there too and see how that works out. Already this is perfect. I can see it's cutting down a lot of the light that's spilling backwards, so I think this is gonna work out perfect. It's at 100%, so we'll just have to play with our settings a little bit on the camera and make sure we're getting the amount of light that we need, or maybe, you know, we just put these on the top half. We'll see, kind of see how it works out here. So gonna run some more tests and see what it looks like. All right, so I think we're getting it set up pretty good here. Got a vacuum going, so curious to see how that comes through on this mic. Got the grid set up. I think that works out pretty good. I'm getting light just on me. And then the background, I was trying to get it smooth, but maybe a little wavy there. Maybe that works a little bit better because it's too hard to get it smooth. And I can't iron it, you know, the thing's huge. It's like 10 feet by 12 feet. So trying to iron that thing is like, is pretty tough. So curious to see what the noise sounds like. Lots of noise going on. Wife's vacuuming upstairs. So see how that sounds. And based on what I'm looking at here, looking at this guy right here, this camera over there looking at me, I think it looks pretty good. I don't know, pretty good. So we're just gonna have to run some audio tests next and see how that sounds and go from there. Recording on the 5D Mark IV. I gotta put the grids back up here, but otherwise it's looking pretty good. We gotta do these grids. All right, there we go. Looking good. So one of the nice things about having a light here with a remote, so I can just boost it up here. I think I might need to get that a little lower. Fill in my face a little more. Whoa, and I can at least see what I'm looking like here, so it's looking pretty good for some testing purposes. I think that needs to come that way a little. Let's try that. Give that a whirl. How's that looking? Oh yeah, that fills in much better. Could even scoot it around just a touch more. And checking on the background, so you can see the light's not changing the background much at all because these grids are doing an awesome job here. So that was huge. 25 bucks for some grids on the light really help the background pop a little bit more. And then I can even change the background in whatever color I want. That looks good. I'm liking that. It's nice and rich in color. Exactly what I want. I think that's pretty good. What do you guys think out there? How's this look to you guys? Does it look pretty good on your end over there? I think it's looking pretty good here. And even I could change up some colors here. So what's cool is on my little LEDs I got on the top strip there, got a little remote. Can just change the colors here for that one. And let's do, we'll go with the blue and the green. And then my other lights down there, I've got on an app that are connected onto the Wi-Fi, so I can just change those colors to really whatever I want as well. So a lot of times I'll do the green and the blue. See how that looks? We'll just pick a green here, pick a green. I think that looks pretty good. And then my old iPhone here is the monitor because it connects right up to my 5D Mark IV. I think that's looking pretty good right there. I like that. I mean, I'm loving the richness of the background color. You never got that before, so that's great. There should be no echo. I'm going to play this sample without any kind of processing, just like I did in the beginning, although I don't think I said that in the beginning, but when I went back and edited the video, I made sure straight audio in the beginning there so we can see if there's any kind of echo going on. But otherwise, I think I'm really happy with this setup. So I'm going to use this as a sample before. Right now, I've just got some old curtains and blankets and a whole bunch of random stuff, painter's blankets hanging up. All right, guys, so that's it. That's our new setup here in the studio. Like I said, I might be looking in getting a new microphone, more of a shotgun mic that can come in from the top so I can get this out of here and it's not in my way. Love this microphone. If you get it set up right, it works awesome. But it is kind of in the way here, and it would be nicer if I didn't have to worry about it. So I might be looking in that, and I'll keep you guys updated on that and make a little video on that when I upgrade the mic, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it. So keep you posted on that. But overall, these blankets do a great job. They muffle the sound a ton. I mean, I'm really impressed at how well they work. I did leave my blankets on the ceiling up there just to kind of prevent anything from bouncing back down. But and I could get the acoustic blankets for up there, but I don't know if it's necessary. But I have to tell you, they did an awesome job. A big thank you to Vocal To Go. Again, they didn't sponsor it. They didn't give me anything for free. I just wanted to try them out. I read that they were good, but I wanted to share it with you guys just in case you're trying to, get rid of some echo in your room that you're in. They make all kinds of cool stuff, like to go over a door or a window, this kind of stuff. You can make a little track to hang this stuff on that you can just slide around so you can move it around if you need to. But works really well. Super impressed. Definitely worth the investment. And yeah, I would recommend them. So go check it out if you're interested in that. So I hope this was helpful for you guys just to kind of see my thought process and how I kind of built this little area here. You saw some pictures, some B-roll, and what I came up with at the end. And I think this is going to be good for me going into 2021. So if you guys liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.